Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion, your host, the Hud, and welcome back to the Baseball Hud. Hope you like this video, and of course, hit that subscribe button. As we know, we're in the first week of pitchers and catchers, and things are sort of going okay, so far so good after 2 days at spring training for the Mets, but we actually have some former Met news, and you talk about doing the right thing. And the Mets finally did the right thing. They dodged the bullet, and they would have been dealing with this, and people would have been complaining like crazy. This is about the former Met. He wasn't here that long. Future Hall of Famer, husband to Kate Upton, right-handed pitcher Justin Verlander has a problem. He has a big problem right now. This is from sports.yahoo.com. Astros pitcher Justin Verlander has a shoulder issue that'll delay spring training timeline. Justin Verlander is now a couple weeks behind schedule for spring training after his pitching shoulder had a little hiccup in his recovery. Houston Astros starting pitcher was playing catch recently and afterwards complained his shoulder didn't feel great. Verlander, who turns 41 next week, said some of that may simply be due to age, but he's being very cautious when signs show up. Quote, "I'm a little bit behind schedule right now," Verlander said via ESPN. "I had a little hiccup early on that's resolved itself, but I have to be very cautious of how I'm building up. I guess my body doesn't respond the same at 40 as it did at 25, so I'm a couple weeks behind." Houston Astros GM Dana Brown said that Verlander told him that he intended to play catch on Wednesday. Quote, "Some of these guys, when they ramp up, they feel some real soreness. I think he's going to be fine. I'm not concerned at all." No, of course not. He's 41 years old. The Astros open their season 6 weeks when Houston plays the New York Yankees on March 28th. Verlander didn't express any genuine concern about this setback impacting his ability to play on opening day because it's too far down the road. The three-time Cy Young Award winner missed the first 5 weeks of the 23 season due to a muscle strain he sustained near his pitching shoulder late in March. Even though he finished with the fewest innings pitched in his 18-year career outside of the COVID season, Verlander had a 13-8 record with a 3.22 ERA and 27 starts for both the Mets and the Astros. Now, the Mets traded him last year, as you know, back to Houston for prospects Drew Gilbert and Ryan Clifford, and they Mets took a lot of money. They basically spent paying his contract this year. Can you imagine, folks, for a second, if he was here and we had this issue? I would be very surprised if he was ready for the opening day. He's going to be 41 years old next week. He had an injury last year to his bicep, to his shoulder, which took him out the first month of last season. It took him quite a while to get going, okay? His first start with the Mets was a disaster. His first start at Citi Field for the Mets was a disaster. He pitched okay for the Mets, but really, the Mets not having him for the first month and not having him in any kind of rhythm really wrecked their season last year. I thought the Mets did the right thing trading him last year, just due to the fact that he hadn't been here that long. They needed to sort of clean their hands of this situation in terms of these older veteran players. Now they're paying for the contract. He has to get to 140 innings to have a vested option. I don't know if the Mets are on the hook for that. God, I hope they're not. I don't remember if they are, but they do have to pay him this year. So hopefully he doesn't get to 140 innings if the Mets are still on the hook for that. If you know, let me know in the comment section, because I don't remember if they are on the hook for next year. I know they're on the hook for this year, for the entirety of his contract. But just imagine if the Mets were stuck with this guy, and just imagine if they were stuck with Scherzer. Because in the past, if the Mets had the Wilpons here, the Wilpons wouldn't have ate the money and taken these prospects. They would have just had them here, or would have taken less prospects, would have had lousy prospects for them. Just imagine if Scherzer and Verlander were here. Scherzer, who had to get back surgery in the offseason, who the hell knows when he's coming back? Verlander, who now is going to miss the beginning of spring training, the beginning of pitchers and catchers, and then, of course, We have Jacob deGrom, who missed most of the last year with Tommy John surgery, and probably going to miss most of this year due to the fact that he had to get a second Tommy John in his career. But as much as people like to complain the Mets have no luck and this and that, it's still the Mets are going to Mets. Well, if the Mets had held on to Verlander, people would be bitching and complaining about him being old. They did trade him at the deadline. Why? Then it's the same people saying, well, you got nothing for him. Why'd you? I like, for instance, Joe Beningo, that clown, said the Mets should have held on to Verlander the last 2 months of the year. Last year, they could have been in the game. They could have been in this until the end, bro. Yeah, okay. Mets problems were much deeper than just a bunch of old pitchers. They had a problem in that clubhouse. A lot of the role players were not good role players, which was a problem. And they didn't have a number 5 hitter on this team. But that's the past. But this situation, the Mets dodged the bullet. Thank God. I could just imagine the complaining, folks. Imagine the complaining that we would be hearing right now about Verlander being injured. That's not our problem now. That is the Astros' problem. Just like Max Scherzer is the Rangers' problem. Just Jacob deGrom is the Rangers' problem. Just think about that for a second. The Mets could have had 3 guys here hurt. They were older guys. Just think about that for a second. And all of them had catastrophic injuries and missed significant time. So, you let me know what you think about this video. It's a very short video. It's basically a ha-ha moment. Ha-ha! It's better you than me situation here. But thank you for watching this video. And, of course, please subscribe to the Baseball HUD. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you later.